This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Before we go any further with this, Gear for Music accidentally sent me 2 of these, so I asked them, can I give one of these away? Might even give them both away. So if you're wanting this guitar, leave a comment below and then email me with baritone in the subject. My email is johnnathancordy@gmail.com, and yeah, let's get these guitars into the hands of some people who are going to use them. Interesting story behind these guitars. Some pretty big artists have ended up using the predecessor to this. Let's get into it. Here's an unboxing and playing of some heavy-ish, for me, music. So what is this? So basically, to get into why I know some of the story about this sort of guitar, there's a band called Loathe who are, you know, like a pretty heavy metal band from the UK, sort of in the realm of like Meshuggah, and they sort of made a specific guitar pretty famous, the Squier Baritone Jazzmaster. Now, this came in this beautiful Antigua finish, or in the black finish, and I actually had one of these. It felt remarkably to me similar to this kind of guitar, which is no bad thing. So Loathe made these guitars kind of skyrocket in value because they were sort of rare-ish and then became kind of very desirable, and so people are now sort of paying £700 to £800, £900 for these kind of guitars, which is a lot of money for a Squier, right? And then shortly after that, they sort of dabbled in other guitars. So I think they both used like Gretsch guitars, And they even used a Sub-Zero, which is a Gear4Music brand. So it's now branded as G4M, but this is essentially the same guitar in a way. So anyway, it's a 30-inch baritone guitar. The closest parallel that you might have heard of, I would suggest, is like a Fender Bass VI, where it's actually somewhere between a bass guitar and a guitar. I'd say it's closer to a bass guitar than not. So you could do all that on it if you wanted to, but it's got a fair amount of weight to it. Really nice wood on the neck. The fingerboard seems to have a little bit of flame to it. It does have a bit of a gloss finish, like a bass guitar might. Got this kind of tidy black binding and a Graphtec new bone nut, so that's cool. Yeah, in general, I'm just thinking it's a... And the cool thing is that, like, for that down-tuned, chuggy stuff, it's got really big, thick strings. But also, I think it could be considered it's like a guitar that could do different things in the studio. A really cool, inspiring instrument as well. At the moment, they've got them up for a super cheap price of like $170 for the tobacco version, and then £200 or like $199 for this white version. I think it's quite an interesting instrument in general. Even if you're not into like the heavier styles of music, like you could take this instrument and turn it into something way different. Like you could put on some lighter strings, but tune them up to maybe B or something like that. I think this extended scale, lower tuned guitar thing is a real potentially inspiring situation. It's kind of the way that I would put it in. I think of it as like a reversed capo. And you don't have to spend a load of money on these to get something that, you know, these have been played by, you know, people actually making records, you know, they're using Squires, they're using Sub-Zeros. Like, I don't know, there's no need to spend loads and loads and loads of money on one of these things. Is kind of my takeaway from that. So I think it's a really cool instrument. As I say, they've sent two. So if you're looking for one of these, leave a comment, send me an email, and I'll send one out to you. You know, we're gonna have to do a draw unless there's only one of you who wants one, which is totally possible. In which case, yeah, just send me an email with baritone in the subject, and I'm gonna put those into like some sort of draw machine, and then send these out to some folks who are looking to get some of this baritone loving going on. It's pretty well built for the money, very solid. Around here I'm seeing some, you know, sort of slight paint, but even on my Ibanez's from Japan, that was a similar thing, you know, where you got a little bit of imperfection there. But all round, you know, straight out of the box, playing pretty cool and inspiring me to do something very different, which I guess is the whole point of this guitar in general, right? I'll catch you in another video soon. Cheers to Gear for Music, and I think this is one of their best sellers as well, probably because of that Loathe connection, but again, might also be because people are looking for something that is very different from their normal kind of 6-string instruments. And I think it sits in a mix and can do some really interesting things. It doesn't feel like playing a bass necessarily. You can do guitar things on it, or you can do bass things on it, and it's just got this really interesting vibe to the instrument. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as I say, leave a comment below if you want the Baritone, you want to be put in the draw, and send me an email, johnnathancordy@gmail.com, with Baritone in the subject. I'll put you into the running to be sent this. Cheers.